Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel. This is my review for The Lost City, which stars Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. And Brad Pitt also. Can't forget about Brad Pitt. The movie follows Sandra Bullock, who is the writer of a series of romance adventure novels focused around a character that she's created called Ashe. And while her novels have been a huge success, later down the line she just finds herself in a creative slump, and also she's kind of shut herself off from the world since the passing of her husband, who used to be an archaeologist. So she's just been completely uninspired. She's going around a book tour for her latest book, but she is soon kidnapped by Daniel Radcliffe, who plays this young, wealthy billionaire who believes that her novels are clues to lead them to a lost city full of buried treasure. So Sandra Bullock has been kidnapped, and the person who tries to go in and save her is the cover model for her character Ashe, played by Channing Tatum. And considering that he's not all that bright, you know some shenanigans are going to go down in this movie that clearly wants to be Romancing the Stone. So I didn't review this movie, but back in 2020, when the world was, let's just say, less shitty than it is right now, that's kind of debatable, but whatever, I saw Romancing the Stone for the first time. It starred Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, and was directed by Robert Zemeckis, whose very next movie, right after Romancing the Stone, would be my favorite movie of all time, Back to the Future. So I saw it during quarantine, and liked it quite a bit. So when I saw the trailers for this movie, The Lost City, I thought to myself, this is just a remake of Romancing the Stone, but hey, who knows? It could be somewhat charming. Yeah, it is Romancing the Stone, right down to it, but in ways it's different enough to where it's not a complete remake or ripoff of it. For one, the lead actor of the movie is not some smart adventurist. He's just a dumb cover model, and that in this movie is Channing Tatum, who is actually really funny, and it really does show that Channing Tatum does have more of a knack for comedy than whatever he did prior to 21 Jump Street. And then Sandra Bullock is playing Sandra Bullock. I mean, her performance is very much what she does in every one of these movies that she stars in, but I do like how the story that they give her character is about stepping out into the world after suffering a devastating loss and feeling the need to be inspired again. And even though there's some really stupid, wacky, and over-the-top scenarios that these two characters get into, the story itself, it's charming enough, and both Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum really do have good chemistry with each other, and Daniel Radcliffe really makes for a fun villain. Granted, the character he plays is not super interesting or compelling, because at the end of the day, he's just a spoiled brat who is upset that his brother got everything that he wanted. He's very entertaining, and he just has some really fun lines. Like when Sandra Bullock is chloroformed and on his private plane, she's like, "Uncuff me," or "Let me go." And Daniel Radcliffe just says, "That's your seatbelt." There's another moment in the movie where Daniel Radcliffe orders one of his henchmen to kill Channing Tatum, and he goes, "Kill him, but do it in a creative way." And I thought, okay, that's completely random, but it made me laugh, because why would he specifically ask his henchmen to kill somebody, not just by shooting them or stabbing them, but being creative with that kill, like he's Jason Voorhees? I don't know, that made me laugh. I think Daniel Radcliffe, more than the other two actors, really steals the show. He's just so entertaining as a villain. Now, as for Brad Pitt, let me just say this right off the bat. He is funny. I mean, the trailers really do show him as just being this super awesome, super handsome badass. But at the same time, everything that you saw of Brad Pitt in the trailers, you pretty much seen in the movie. There's a few things they don't show in the trailers, but really the whole gist of his character can be summed up in the trailers alone. Though there is a funny capper to his character near the end of the movie, which I won't say because it's just so goofy that it's enjoyable. There's a lot of other things that don't really work about this movie. There's some random character decisions that are made from one of Daniel Radcliffe's henchmen. There's quite a handful of padding in this movie, and jokes that kind of go on for a little while. Not to the point where they annoy me, but they just didn't really work 100%. And like I said earlier, this movie clearly wants to be Romancing the Stone, but I just don't think it's as clever or even as fun and adventurous as Romancing the Stone was. And I think maybe some of that had to do with the fact that there's a lot of CG backgrounds in this movie, like a lot. But I can forgive some of those aspects because at the end of the day, it's really not about the adventure the same way Romancing the Stone was. That movie right there is a perfect balance of romance and adventure. This is really more about the laughs than Romancing the Stone was. And I think most of the time it succeeds more than not. I personally won't see myself watching this movie again. So for that, I'd say watch at your own risk. If you enjoyed the trailers, then you'll probably like this movie. Maybe more than the trailers. But if the trailers didn't really sell you on this movie like they didn't do for me, then I won't say skip entirely, but it's probably best you just wait for it to come on streaming. And this is a Paramount movie, so it's most likely going to end up on Paramount Plus. So that's probably the best way to watch this movie, or just watch Romancing the Stone. That is obviously the much better movie, and I think most people will agree that yeah, Romancing the Stone is the better movie, but for what it is, The Lost City is not that bad. I wouldn't even say it's a bad movie. It's just fine. And there you go. That's my review for The Lost City. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. Hello everyone, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching my review for The Lost City. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, go check out my theme park channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, and take care of yourselves.